Hi everybody, it's Margaret here with 60andMe. Thanks so much for being here today. My video today is on a topic that I think will be of interest to all the women in our 60andMe community, even if it doesn't apply to you specifically. It's an article that was written by Anthony Cirillo. Now, Anthony has been writing for 60andMe for some time. He's very involved in the caring business. He does a caring seminar and workshops and thinks a lot about the issues of aging and how to succeed as an aging adult, and especially if you live alone. Now, living alone doesn't mean that you don't have relatives and friends around you, but there are a group of women who don't have anyone who is an immediate relative living near them, or they don't have a partner, they're not married, or perhaps they're divorced, perhaps they've lost their partner. So there are women who are living alone, but truly alone, and how to survive and feel powerful and in control as you're dealing with all the different issues related to aging. Now, 60andMe is a community of women, about 500,000 women now around the world visit our website, and we are also across the spectrum, women of all sort of backgrounds and ages and preferences, but we've found that there is this one thread that sort of goes through it. So I want to talk today about how to succeed when you're aging alone. Now, Anthony spoke with a woman called Carol Merrick, who also has written for 60andMe. But Carol sort of went off on her own about 2 years ago because she had a very specific area of interest, which she calls elder orphans. People that don't have anyone near them that they can, they're living with or can turn to for help. And they have to be super resilient and super informed about the kinds of things that are important. Now, Anthony had a conversation with Carol and he wrote this article, and I'll put the link to it in the section below because it's a good article and I think that you might want to read it. And he talked to her about this whole idea of living by yourself, being an elder orphan. Now, Carol has got a gerontology certificate from USC, and so she's an advocate on behalf of older adults. She's got a Facebook group that grew from 0 to, thousands in a very short time, because there were, again, women who were living by themselves and just needed support, needed a sense of what to be thinking about, what to be planning. Now, just to give you some perspective, I've got some notes here that there are 15 million people in the United States, just US, living alone, no partner and children to take care of them. And of course, there's got to be obviously similar numbers all around the world, but the statistics are quite interesting. 19% of women between 40 and 50 have no children. This is a growing trend, not just in the United States, but all around the world. So in that 40 to 45 age group where women are unlikely to have children after that age, 19% are in that category. So they are going to be potentially living alone. 27% of the 65 plus community in the United States lives alone. So Carol started to prepare, people how to live by yourself. And the first thing she talks about, of course, is getting your legal T's and crossed and your I's dotted, just making sure that you have all the information about what's legally necessary. Now, do you have a will? Do you have a trust? Do you have an estate plan? I mean, you may be a woman that has, a house and plenty of things, stocks, investments, and just need to take responsibility for them. Now, I think women who live alone tend to be pretty independent and strong and thoughtful and resilient, but there's some things sometimes that we forget. I mean, do you have an advance directive? Should you become sick? Now, with the pandemic going on right now, COVID is a real reality for so many of us. And, have you written down what you want to happen? I mean, it could be that, you're through that period now with the vaccine and all that, but it's still there to be concerned about. So you better get busy, is what Carol says. Evaluate your circumstances. Now, once you've got your financial issues all in order, and I have like a book that's like a binder, and I've just put everything in there with all the little notes and, things that I want people to remember. And I've actually got a folder on my hard drive of my computer that says things to read when I die. Why not? We're going to die. There's no doubt. And so, what things that people might want to read, and that includes for me personal things, letters, pictures, that kind of thing. But also my will, advance directive. I have a power of attorney set up with my son. Just all those kinds of things. I also, I don't know if I've got it nearby, but it's another video, another conversation to talk about how to document your life and how to create some kind of a legacy. It's a little book called The Book of Me. And it's a really cool book. I'm just going to minimize my speaker here because it pings every now and again. So the next thing is to evaluate your circumstances. Are you in the best health? Are you doing an exercise regime? Are you taking time for yourself to stay healthy? Are you looking at supplements and foods? Are you eating well? Are you living well? Are you taking care of yourself? One of the biggest challenges as we get older is stress, and stress is that what causes that desire to eat and desire to not move and not be interactive with the world. And it can be a really big challenge if you're not doing some meditation or some kind of just practice that's going to make you feel calmer. I will mention, by the way, it's total aside, but it's related, is that 60andMe is a big community, but we actually have a group called Patreon, which is a supporters group. And that supporters group is a smaller, exclusive group of women that meet off the Facebook grid, off of, it's all exclusive and safe. And we meet twice a week on a live show. We do exclusive videos. When I travel, I do exclusive videos for that group. And then getting together, meeting new women. You'd be surprised how many women in that group have found each other, gone to meet with, virtually sometimes, but in one case, met in person, 6 women. This is so cool. And that is, I think, our best way to evaluate your situation. If you are alone and I've got to make some friends. I need other women that are like this. And of course, Carol's Facebook group, her website, Carol Marek, I'll leave the details for you below. They're really valuable assets. So you may want to desire to stay at home. You may, you don't want to go to a retirement home or anywhere you are in your home. You've probably been there for many years. Are you able to sustain it? This is evaluating your circumstances. Are you able to afford it? And not just afford it financially, but emotionally and physically. Can you take care of everything that needs to be looked after? Or have you got enough money, hopefully, to have someone to come and do it for you as you get into your 80s and 90s? You just might want to take it a little easy. But anyway, you've got to evaluate that. Also, as I mentioned, you've got to evaluate your social network. How many friends do you have? How many people could you pick up the phone right now and say, I need some help, or can we chat, or some advice on a topic like financial advice or downsizing? There's all these things that you might want to talk to someone about. Do you have that social network? And so if you don't have a family, if you don't have children, you don't have a partner, you've got to create a substitute world. And you've got to do that by yourself. And it can be hard. It really can. I would think that a lot of women who are living by themselves, solo, elder orphans, as Carol calls them, have built these resources, but many haven't. So this is her job, her passion, her commitment, and Anthony as well. Anthony is doing the same thing. So you've got to create a lifestyle that doesn't isolate you. This is so important. Or a lifestyle that doesn't overwhelm you. You've got to try to find some peace here. Carol says that you might even want to consider a move. Maybe moving out of that big house into something a little smaller. She actually moved from a house, a big house she had, into a high-rise condo in the middle of a town, a city. And for me, that seems like kind of the way I would like to go too. That, I just think being in the middle of the city where there's activities and music and theater and museums and people and cafes and airports and roads, that's kind of a cool place. And a lot of cities now are thinking more about older people and sort of how they just need different things. So the other thing to do is be mentally active by being socially active. Get out there and do things. And honestly, unless you work on it, unless you put your mind to it, it isn't going to happen. No one's going to come knocking at your door, unfortunately. And, maybe the postman or somebody, but you know what I mean? You got to work at it. And this pandemic I think it's made it harder, and it's also made it easier in some ways. I think that people are not so comfortable with each other right now, but they're more hungry for friendships and more perhaps accepting of a friend that's somebody they might not have considered before. But go the places that you love to go with your mask on, however you have to travel right now, and meet other people, take their names, get on touch on email, join our Patreon group, join other groups out on Facebook. There's plenty of them. She has actually, I'd mentioned in closing, set up an Elder Orphan Facebook group. I don't have the address right here, but you'll check it out. It's just called Elder Orphan a Facebook group. And Carol runs that Facebook group. There are thousands of women there, and men, I believe, as well. She has both men and women. And you can chat there about your situation, ask questions, get advice, get company, get someone else on the journey with you. I think I'm looking at my notes, 7,000 members are in that group. Yeah, it's a big group, and that's great. That shows that people care and that they're trying to do something wonderful with their lives. So being alone is not exclusive to older people, of course. And there's a whole lot of networks around that. But for older people, it's a little bit more amplified. So go and check out Carol Merrick's Facebook group, the Elder Orphan group, and, work in your community to maybe set up some meetup groups or things that you can do to help. So are you living alone? Would you be what's considered, in Carol's opinion, an elder orphan? No family, no children, no close relatives near you? If so, this might be the solution for you. It might be a way to get some support and help through the isolation. But do take care of yourselves. Be safe and be active and be, just positive about the future. And take good care of yourself if you're living alone. If you're not and you know someone who is, go reach out to them. And just everybody. Ultimately, we're all living alone, right? In our own worlds. So this may just apply to you too. Take really good care of yourselves. Have a great day, and we'll be back soon. Bye-bye for now.